Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Let me just say, this movie is what Troll Hunters Rise of the Titans should have been. And what the hell, they came out to the same year, like god damn. Before I continue on with this video, I'm just gonna say straight up that this is a spoiler-free section. I will put it down in the description and the timestamp below, and I'll even let you know later on in the video when I'll start talking about spoilers. So for now, spoiler-free, you can watch when you want, and then when I get to the spoiler section, I'll let you know. So today we're talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, the third MCU Spider-Man movie, and it was a rough ride. Let me just say for one that this movie was earned. All right, it was well earned. Ever since Homecoming, like 4 years ago, they've been building up to this movie slowly but surely. Each movie has been built up on the last, building up on other MCU movies, and just making this movie all the more wild. And the fact that this movie even uses like the past Spider-Man movies to benefit it makes it so much better. It makes it the same way, it's earned in the same way that Endgame is earned. And of course, we were all anticipating this. We were all waiting for the day this movie would become a thing, and here it is. Here it is before our very eyes. It just doesn't feel real. It feels like a dream, you know? Like, how do we actually like deserve this movie? It's insane. So yeah, now quick recap of the movie and the story based on the trailer. I'm just gonna go through this part quickly. Peter's life is messed up now that everyone knows he's Spider-Man, and because of that, his friends' lives are also getting messed up just as a byproduct. So he goes to Doctor Strange to create a forget-me spell so that the whole world will forget who Spider-Man is. However, because Peter botches up the spell, now it brings everyone from other universes who know Spider-Man into this universe. Doctor Strange is able to stop it, to stop the spell before we literally have infinite universes crashing in on each other. However, now Peter has to fight these random villains from other universes who know him, and it's just crazy after crazy after crazy. I can't explain much more of the movie afterward because that's delving into spoiler territory, but that is where we are, and once again, that is the story. And yeah, what do I think of this movie? So, I loved it. I love this movie so much. I know objectively it's not perfect. I know you can nitpick things to death here and there, but I mean, hell, even I have some points that I could use to make this movie better, but I just can't. This is the type of movie that comes out like once every blue moon. This is such a rare movie. It's such a rare specimen. I can't hate on this movie simply for the mere fact that it exists. Just for the mere fact this movie exists, I cannot hate it. The acting is beautiful. Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, Tom Holland, I confused both Toms, and Jamie Foxx. All of these guys did amazing in their own respective roles, and I love them for it. You could tell they were acting their butts off. Like, this was the last thing they were ever gonna do. The action scenes were long and amazing, with no two being the same. I am surprised as to how much Spider-Man was actually in this film. Like, I know it should come as a no-brainer that you're gonna get a lot of Spider-Man in a Spider-Man film, but I was also worried about the prospect of there being a lot of Peter Parker here. But the fact that there's so much Spidey, and the fact that everyone knows who he is, just makes it so much better. I didn't think a movie could ever match the majesty that was Avengers Endgame, but here we are. This movie has single-handedly become one of my favorite movies of all time. I love it so much, and yeah, it needed other movies to build it up, but I don't care. This movie on its own, just like standing on its own, is so good and just so perfect. I don't think it's better than Endgame, but it's a really close second. My gosh, I love it. Go watch it if you have not. You will not be disappointed, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. This movie is a love letter to Spider-Man fans everywhere, and it does it perfectly. This movie gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Go watch it. I swear, guys, you will love this thing. And with that being said, we now enter the spoiler-free. We're done with the spoiler-free part of the movie. We're now in spoiler territory. Please click off the video now if you're worried about spoilers. It's okay. Go watch the movie. Come back. Come back to finish the video or the review, whatever. I will still be here. Just pause it, put it in your watch later, and it's okay. Spoilers incoming in 3, 2, 1. Penguins.
Back there's Kowalski. He's the brains of our operation. Say something smart, Kowalski.
Can you believe Spider-Man and She-Hulk are actually a thing? What do you call that? Spider-Hulk? She-Man? Nah, Spider-Hulk's better. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was a troll for the people who actually don't care about spoilers. Seriously, go watch the movie before I continue. Alright, but seriously, my theater clapped like hell when Andrew, Toby, and even Tom Hardy showed up. Like, seriously, first it was Andrew, and everyone was like, woo, way to go! Andrew Garfield. The minute Toby showed up, I even had someone be like, that's the original Spider-Man. And we just lost our minds. And the end credit scene with Tom Hardy, yo, what the heck? Why is this movie such a crossover movie? This is the thing that children think about. What the heck is going on? I wish I recorded it, but yeah, we were animals in there. It was insane. I really love it when movies are able to unite people like this. I really love when a movie franchise has captured so many minds and hearts that when the big thing comes out, we all unite in unison and go like, hell yeah! It happened with Endgame, like with Cap lifting Thor's hammer, or like the portal scene, which I will admit I cried at the portal scene, and like we just lost our minds throughout the movie. The same thing happened here. Andrew came in, Toby came in, Tom Hardy came in. We lost our crap, and it was well worth it. I loved it so much, and I wish more movies would bring an audience together like that. I really wish that were the case. I do love the acting jobs, and now that I'm in spoiler territory, I can talk about the acting jobs of everyone I love. I already talked about Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina as like Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. The way they are like acting, it fits so well. The chemistry like they have with each other and like with Spider-Man, it just reminds you of the OG Spider-Man films. The way they would act there is the way they act here, and I love it. I love it so much. Jamie Foxx as Electro is probably also one of my favorite members from like the villains. The way he acts and the way he's like, yo, I love the Spider-Man. He's like so chill about everything, but at the same time he also like kind of likes being a villain. He's like, yo, where's the black Spider-Man? But you're a good kid. You're a good kid. I like you, Peter. I also love just everyone. Toby and Andrew acted so well in this movie. So well. Like it's for Toby, it's like he never stopped being Spider-Man. Andrew, I just love his kind of goofy nature. It's so good. I love everyone in this movie did so well, and I mean,
What do you mean everyone?
I love how the ending is bittersweet and not only makes sense, but it could also be reversed in future movies. And unlike another movie I watched, seriously, let me just get this off my chest just so I can like be done with it. But Trollhunters Rise of the Titans, that's a movie I've been looking forward to for so long, and it's a movie I just like love with all my heart. But those last like 3 minutes, they bothered me. This movie does the same thing. Peter gets Doctor Strange to erase everyone in the world, to erase like his identity from everyone in the world, and he has to move on in his life. He was about to remind MJ and Ned, but he decides against it. And I'm like, that is so good. Like, what? You know, it's their memories erased. It's not time travel. He could remind them on a later date. I don't know. He could like save a video or something. He could literally reverse this on any other day, or he could make Doctor Strange remove the forget me spell or something. Unlike Troll Hunters, where yeah, Jim remembered everything, but he reversed time. He reversed all of his experiences and all of like the friendships and character development he made. In this case, Peter reversed nothing. All he did was remove one thing. He still went through those experiences. All the character development he had is still there. And it's not like the world around him changed. They're still moving on. Everyone still remembers Spider-Man fought like the Sinister Five at the Statue of Liberty. They just don't know who he is. Why couldn't Trollhunters do that? God, this movie does such a way better ending than Trollhunters did, and it makes me hate that Trollhunters ending even more. But now that I'm going off my chest, I'm also going to give a few points as to how I think this movie could have been better. Not that it was worse or like I'm nitpicky, I'm just kind of wanting to make up some points here. The first point is that this movie should have really been a Sinister Six movie. Like, don't get me wrong, I love all the villains in this movie. I just feel like we really could have added an extra villain. Like, Sinister Five just does not have the same ring to it. And I feel like given the fact that all 5 villains are from like both Toby and Andrew's universe, it really would have helped the movie a lot if the 6th villain was from Tom's universe. That way it just like brings everything full circle. Although I also do understand why they didn't add a 6th villain, because I know the 5 villains were from the previous movies. Like Goblin was from Spider-Man 1, Dr. Octopus was from Spider-Man 2, Sandman, Spider-Man 3, Lizard, Amazing Spider-Man, and Electro, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Although again, I really do wish they brought someone from Tom's universe, because they had a lot of picks to go with. They could have brought Vulture back, maybe Shocker, Scorpion. They built him up a bit. Maybe they could have even brought back the Tinkerer, or maybe they could have just not had Mysterio die. They could have faked his death and have him be in this film after all. He's like, now Peter, you ruined my life, I ruined your life. But then again, it also makes sense why they only picked 5 villains, seeing as this movie is a love letter to Spider-Man. It makes sense why they only picked the villains from the past 5 movies. Another thing I feel could have made this movie better would have been an inclusion of a live-action Miles Morales. We only got a mention of like Miles once, and that was in Homecoming when we found out he was like the nephew to Prowler. Like this guy, Prowler guy, was like Prowler in his early days, you know, like all the crazy tech stuff. I feel like a live-action like Miles Morales would have made it better. Not only would it have marketed into the Spider-Verse as well, but it would have also just like brought in like all the Spider-Men at once. I mean, hell, even Electro mentioned a black Spider-Man, so I don't know why they didn't like go through with it. Again, he did have a live-action movie, but I feel like an animated movie is just as worthy as a live-action one, so I feel like the movie would also been better if they brought Miles Morales in. I know not everyone agrees with me, but that's just kind of my personal thing. Anyway, these are just my points and my thoughts on what could have made the movie better. I'm not saying that the movie was bad, and I'm not saying that these improvements would have made the movie 100 times better. It's just what I would have liked to see. I love the interactions. So now back on the things I love. I love the interactions between the 3 Spideys, and my only problem with them is that the interactions just weren't longer. I really wish we could have had a scene where like these guys go to like a cinema or a cafe or something. They just chat there. But hey, I really love the instances we got. I really love this scene on the Statue of Liberty where they're like sharing villain stories, like all the villains they fought in the past and what their craziest stuff was. I even like how Peter's like, yo, I used to be part of the Avengers, and the other two are like, what the hell are the Avengers? Because like, get it? Sony made the other 2 movies that the Avengers weren't allowed in those movies, but obviously now that Spidey's part of the MCU, he's like, yo, I fought Thanos, I was part of the Avengers. I love it. I just love the interactions like that, and I really love the fact that they tried to put it as many memes as possible, like
the power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
and
Tells me you're quite the science whiz. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself. I read all your
my entire theater laughed at that when he said that. And I also really love the fact that Andrew got to redeem himself. Those who saw the movie know what I mean. My gosh, do you feel bad for him after rewatching this clip? And boy, oh boy, did Tom Holland Spider-Man get the short end of the stick here, didn't he? He lost his Uncle Ben, his Aunt May, and his girlfriend doesn't even remember him. At least Toby only lost his uncle and his girlfriend. I mean, no, Andrew lost his uncle and his girlfriend. Toby only lost his Uncle Ben, and Harry, who got like a last-minute redemption. Not really much of a loss as the other two. In fact, in this movie, he even said he got back with MJ. What the heck? Also, with Andrew, if you don't want your girlfriend to die, don't date Gwen. Clearly, dating MJ is the superior thing here, according to these Spider-Man movies. And apparently, this isn't even the end for Spider-Man yet. Sony and Disney have signed another contract for 3 more MCU Spider-Man movies. And what does the future hold? Well, we know Venom's gonna come soon, though it doesn't make sense that a piece of the Venom symbiote would stay when the main symbiote himself went back to his universe. Like what was the whole thing of that time travel thing? Like, what's going on here? And other villains who haven't been explored yet, or at least haven't been explored fully, could make a return. I'm pretty sure they are bound to make a return. Like, why would you set them up if you don't have a payoff for them? And I am looking at you, Shocker, Scorpion, and the Tinkerer. So hopefully those guys could make a return in another movie. And who knows, maybe one day we'll get another big Spider-Man movie, this time with the full Sinister Six, and not 5 villains. Again, I have no problem with the villains in this movie, just really wish you could have gone in a 6th one. What are also things I love about this movie? I love the fact that all Spideys are innately good and heroic, and they put everything on the line to save these villains' lives. Any other hero or someone would have sent these villains back to their world and it's their responsibility. But here, they actually put the entire world on the line just to save these villains. Even some who don't want to be saved, like Norman Osborn. And again, I really love the fact that this movie set the line, with great power comes great responsibility. And yes, I do love Aunt May. I love Aunt May as much as the next person. But it really made more sense for Uncle Ben to say, given the circumstances and whatnot. Then again, I really love the fact that Aunt May was such a strong character in this film. And I can't let it go that she's the one who said it. And of course, course, we can't talk about Aunt May without Aunt May's death. This was a really sad and emotional part of the movie. And for me, I was completely blindsided. I did not see this coming. I did not think this movie would actually think to like kill Aunt May. It's not something you heard of, you know? Like, what? Aunt May of all people. Uncle Ben. Yeah, we've seen Uncle Ben die like a million times. But Aunt May? That's incredible. Again, just something I would have never seen. Anyways, in conclusion, I cannot find anything wrong with this movie, aside from some things that I thought would make it slightly better. This movie is truly a rare specimen in that during filming, nothing went wrong, no one passed away, and the circumstances were just right for it. And of course, a great, I guess Christmas present for Marvel and Sony, given it came out in December. This movie, This movie, Sony and Marvel really know how to treat their fans, and they give them the most love and appreciation with this masterpiece. This love letter of a movie, I really cannot understate how much I love it so much. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. One of the best movies I've ever seen, and an easy 8 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to see more of my stuff. I love you, all of my beautiful Rangers. This has been your friendly neighborhood Captain Phoenix, signing out. And with that, I will see you in another universe.